Good evening and welcome to the season finale, the CUTV High School Football Game of the Week for 2019. Tonight's game between the Brownsville Falcons and the Carmichaels Mighty Mikes from Redstone in Republic, Pennsylvania. I'm Gary Smith, joined by my good friend Doug Gladkin. Doug, it's hard to believe, but we are at the season finale for the 2019 regular season.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy we're already to this point. These first 10 weeks or so of the school year have been an absolute blur. Now it's the conclusion of our CUTV Game of the Week season, and we're going to get on into other things on our Friday nights starting next week.
We have a good local matchup tonight. Two teams that are separated by about 17 miles, haven't played a lot of conference football. Carmichaels was in single A for a lot of years before moving up to double A. Brownsville has been in double A for about the past 15 years. Last week, tale of two teams. Carmichaels kind of coming back. They're on a two-game win streak. They defeated Fraser 32-26 at home on their senior night. And last week, Brownsville went down the river to Charleroi. And Charleroi had their way with them 63-0. And last year's game, Doug, was another season finale game between these two teams. And Carmichaels won at home 18-0. But senior night, anything can happen under the lights here. And, you know, we're a few minutes from going into this season finale. But, you know, two teams struggling this year, but one last chance to get a win, especially for Brownsville on their senior night, last time to play on their home field.
That's right. With it being the last week of the season, both of these teams struggling. Carmichaels with a 3-5 record overall, Brownsville with a 2-7 record overall. Really gives them an opportunity to potentially play some kids who had not had an opportunity, maybe try and work on things for next year, but nonetheless, it's going to be a great matchup because both these teams are playing for the love of the game, and it's going to be a great one.
And we see the tail of the tape on the screen right now. The thing that sticks out to me, neither team really has had great luck on defense. Both teams giving up exactly 4 to 4 points a game. Carmichael's a little bit more in the points scored per game, 21.6 to Brownsville's 15.9. But the one that sticks out is Brownsville's 0-4 here at Redstone Field. And this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seniors for the football team are going to hope to reverse that tonight in their last chance here at Redstone Field.
Yeah, you most definitely would want to go out on top if you're a senior in this game for Brownsville. Last game on this turf, definitely lots of great memories on this field. So why not go out with a bang?
And kind of interesting, we saw Carmichaels in the first week of the season, and we're seeing them last week. Brownsville going left to right. They won the toss. They will defer. They will kick off dressed in their all black with their new white helmets for 2019. And Carmichaels will be going right to left with their kind of Philadelphia Eagle-inspired Carmichael Mike Lightning Bolt helmets. If you see on the screen, the Brownsville Falcons logo is done up in pink and black tonight. And also there's breast cancer awareness ribbons observing the month of October. And we're set for action here. Kicking off will be number 24, Thomas Ruffcorn. Back deep to receive. We're two deep men for Carmichaels. Number 24, Michael Stewart. And I believe number 9, Damon Hewitt, but he's in a little bit of the shadows in the right. But we're set to go here. Last night of the regular season for Century Conference football. There's the kick, and it's going to be a squib kick, almost a onside kick. It's going to hit a player. And it will be recovered by Brownsville, but I don't think it went the necessary 10 yards. So we're going to see our first tussle of the night between the officials. And yeah, actually, they're not going to talk at all, Doug. I think they're going to say maybe Carmichael's just recovered it and there's no foul. And Carmichael's will take over on Brownsville's side of the 50-yard line.
That's quite interesting. I thought for sure it was picked up by Brownsville, but...
Oh, actually it will. They did say go 10-yard. The official, for the first time all season, has not stepped in. And actually, no, Carmichael's is on offense. We apologize, but the official's not really telling anybody everything right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of miscommunication going on at the moment, but nonetheless, Kevin Kelly will go under center for the Mighty Mikes.
The sticks are set. That's what we were waiting for. 1st and 10 for Carmichaels. Brownsville has 9 guys without scrimmage. Draw play, give to number 26, Bailey Jones, and he will be stopped after about 2 yards. Great job that time by the interior of Brownsville's defense. Stop was by number 64, Aiden Teeter.
Most definitely. It's something that the Brownsville defensive line is going to have to watch for tonight, is shutting down Bailey Jones, because that week 1 matchup against Beth Center, Bailey Jones was a huge part of the Mighty Mike's offense. Kevin Kelly, their quarterback, deferred to him on many key downs when they needed a first down quickly.
Kelly, play fake, rolls to his right, looks, has room to run. He looks, got a block. He's going to gain about 8 yards before he's knocked out of bounds. He's actually going to be close to a first down. I think he's going to say he was out just short, but a great read on the run play option there for Kevin Kelly.
That's right. That was a lot of what we saw in that matchup against Beth Center. Kevin Kelly had 3 rushing TDs that game, had one of the best celebrations I've ever seen with the Gladiator Are You Not Entertained celebration, and here we go back into the play.
Kelly, quarterback keeper, he's just going to take it under center and drive for about 4 yards. That'll be a first down for Carmichael. So Carmichael was converting on their first third down of the evening. And so that'll set them up 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line of Brownsville. About 1 minute into the game here, we've already saw an onside kick and a quarterback scramble here from Redstone Field.
Yeah, it's early on here. There's been some crazy football, a lot of unorthodox plays. Obviously, we know Kevin Kelly can get it done with his legs, so we're going to be watching for that a lot this evening.
Kelly under center, turns, gives, and there's going to be a nice defensive play. The give was once again to Bailey Jones, but the interior of that Brownsville defense, second time was able to stop Carmichaels on that interior.
Yeah, and that's what Brownsville's going to need this evening, is to shut down Bailey Jones and limit the only run threat to being the quarterback, Kevin Kelly. Because if you're shutting down Jones in the trenches, you can let Kelly get loose a little bit and not really pay for it as much as if Bailey Jones is running all over you.
Kelly, play fake, rolls to his left now, looks, turns, lobs it, and it's going to be intercepted by Brownsville. One man to beat, and he slips, and that is a big interception early on in the game by Daniel Grant, and he was one shoe size away from making a cut and going uncontested, but that'll be a big turnover here on senior night for the Falcons.
Great play there by Daniel Grant, jumping the route of Hunter von Oethofer. Bit of a difficult read there by Kelly, but nonetheless a key interception for Brownsville on that first defensive drive of the game.
And that sets Brownsville up 1st and 10 on their own 48 for quarterback Hunter Assad, wearing number 7 in the shotgun formation. Checks it off. Now he's going to sneak up under center. Calling out Carmichael's 7 guys in the box. Assad turns, gives to the first man through, be knocked down. Gain of about 2.5, call it 3, and I believe that was going to be Daniel Grant, Mr. Interception, for about 3 yards.
That's right. Make a great play on defense, get right back into it on offense. Way to be a two-way player for Daniel Grant with that 2 to 3 yard gain. Met by a host of Mighty Mike's defenders, but nonetheless a good start with that 3-yard run to start this drive.
Acid now, 2nd and 7. 49-yard line of Carmichaels. Takes a snap, turns, gives it to Grant. Grant over the right side, spins, fights his way forward. That's going to be a first down over the 40-yard line. A great second effort by Daniel Grant.
Yeah, that was a great spin move there from Grant to get loose of a couple Mighty Mike's defenders and get into a second wave of the defense. Solid gain there. First down for the Mighty Mike's. Or for the Falcons, rather.
So it'll be 1st and 10. Brownsville with 9 minutes left to go in the first quarter on their first drive. You're just joining us. Brownsville attempting an onside kick on the opening kickoff, recovered by Carmichaels, and then Daniel Grant, 4 plays in the drive, picks it off. So Brownsville set up 1st and 10 at the 40. Acid under center, takes, turns, gives to Grant. Grant is hit by a host of Carmichael's Mighty Mikes, and the big fellow in the middle, number 59, Steve Spear, with a big hit.
That's right. Grant just went into a big wall of Steve Spear. Spear is quite a large human being, and he made Grant pay on that one.
Spear might be the biggest player for either team on the field. He hustles off to the sideline right now. Big play is going to go get some water, but that big play on the interior sets up 2nd and 9 for the Falcons, 39-yard line. I formation now. Brownsville splits. Acid in shotgun. 2 left, 2 right. Gets the snap. Rolls it right to Grant. Grant off the left side. Carmichaels wasn't fooled, and that was a gain of about 2 yards. Set up 3rd and long for the Falcons.
Yeah, it seems like we're seeing a trend here with the handoffs to Grant. Feel like the Mighty Mikes are really picking up on that and just bringing their defensive line in for the pressure to make that stop right at the line of scrimmage or closer, for only giving the Falcons short gains.
And we've yet to see Brownsville attempt to pass right now, but 3rd and 7, see what they dial up. Acid in pregame warmups was throwing about 45 yards, so it seems like the young man has a pretty good cannon on his right side. I formation behind Acid. 10 of the 11 Mighty Mikes are within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, so we'll see what happens. Acid turns, gives to Jones, right side. Breaks a tackle, but not the second one. They're going to be about 3 yards short of a first down. Great defensive play that time. It looked like it was Hunter Voigthofer coming in from that linebacker position and stopping the gain for Daniel Grant.
That's right, Gary. The Mighty Mikes defense has stepped up in a really big way here. Obviously, it looks like Brownsville's going to go for it on 4th and short here.
Yeah, last game of the regular season, 4th and 4, senior night, 4th and 3 actually. Why not? Acid with I formation behind him, looks over towards the bench. Again, Carmichael stacking the box on defense. 1 man split out near side. Acid, sprint draw to Grant. Grant turns, moves, and he's going to be close to a first down, but I think he's going to be just short, as it looked like the right side of the Carmichaels line just was able to get down and chop down Grant before it, and that will be a turnover. Mighty Mike football, 1st and 10 on the 30-yard line.
Great effort there by the Mighty Mikes defense to stop Grant short on that play. Way to pick up their quarterback, who threw a pretty difficult interception there on the first drive. So let's see if Kevin Kelly and company can rebound here on offense.
Well, 6:20 left to go in the first quarter. Kelly in shotgun. Brownsville stacking the box again. Kelly rolls to his right. It's going to be a design draw to the right side. 5-10 yards will be a first down. And I tell you what, early on the game, that's a 15-yard gain. That right side of the Carmichaels line is doing work for the Mighty Mikes.
Yeah, the right side of the line has been really stepping up for the Mighty Mikes so far. Has allowed Kevin Kelly to do what he does best, do those QB draw plays to the right side, get in open space and get a pretty substantial gain. Saw that in the first drive before the eventual interception, but if it's working, I'd stick with it at this point if you're the Mighty Mikes.
Big block on that play by Troy Luma, number 51, a junior lineman. Now Kelly, quarterback keeper, now tries the left side, trying to get to the corner. Big hit, and there is number 4 again for the Falcons, Daniel Grant. He had the interception. Now he has a highlight tackle there in open field. Sets up 2nd down and long for the Mighty Mikes.
That's right. Kevin Kelly was going to his left, and Grant for the Falcons just comes in like a freight train, going right in and sideswiping Kevin Kelly's legs, bringing him down for no gain.
Well, Doug, this is definitely going to be a war of attrition. I don't think either team's DNA is to pass the ball, so it's going to be which line can get the holes and get the big play. 2nd and 10 now for the Mighty Mikes, 47-yard line. Kelly sprints out to the right, fires in the flat, complete at the 50. Big move, and it's going to be a gain of about 6 yards. Nice pass out there, complete to Michael Robinson, a senior, in the flat. So sets up a 3rd and about 4.
Solid play there by Kelly to get that ball to Robinson in open space. Just a little stop-go route, takes it upfield for all that he can yardage-wise.
Kelly now sending the offense. His 2-man split out wide to his left, rolls that way, turns, look, lob pass, and it's complete. And there's Grant again, about a split second from getting another interception, but that'll be a completed pass, and I believe that will be enough for a Mighty Mike first down. Great job on the reception by Michael Robinson, not dropping the ball after the contact.
That's right, but an even better effort by Daniel Grant to stop Robinson right at the line to prevent any extra yardage from being gained.
There's some discussion about where the ball was spotted, but it will be, in fact, a first down for the Mighty Mike. 2nd time on their 2 possessions. They have been in Falcon territory. The first drive was stopped with a interception. Now 3 men split wide to the right for Kelly. 3:50 left to go in the first quarter. Rolling clock here. Beautiful night for football here in Republic, Pennsylvania. Kelly barks out the signal, takes the snap, and there's a little pop pass to the inside, and a great job of play design that time for a 6-yard gain. Nice little pop pass to Hunter Voihofer, the junior running back. He's listed at 200 pounds, but I think he's a little stockier than that.
Yeah, I would say so, Gary. Like you said, that was a great play. That was a tricky little play, but great play by the Falcons defense to not be fooled by that and prevent a large gain, because whenever you have weird plays like that, the yards can come in bunches.
And let's give a shout out to Steve Spear once again on that offensive line, pulling to have the lead block on that play for the Mighty Mikes. Sets up a 2nd and 5, 3 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Kelly, quarterback draw right up the middle. He'll get it 6 yards and a first down. And that, Doug, was just a design quarterback draw off the playbook.
Absolutely right. What a play by Kevin Kelly to just take it right up the middle and get that first down. Like I've been saying, what we saw in that Beth Center Carmichaels game week 1 was a lot of runs by Kevin Kelly. He really put the team on his back in the second half and got them that huge victory to kick off their season.
2:30 left to go in a scoreless first quarter here. 1st and 10 from the 30. Under center is Kelly. Kelly, inside handoff to Voihofer. Voihofer, the fullback, turns and burns and fights his way for about a 7-yard gain. Great job by Hunter Voihofer, just shedding the first man and dragging some Falcons with him for a 7-yard travel.
Yeah, we had some old school football there on that play, with Hunter Voihofer lining up at fullback and taking the handoff, shedding a couple guys, running through somebody. Great to see a fullback being utilized in today's game.
Kelly, once again, first man through. It's going to be a handoff to the 15, to the 10, inside the 10 to the 5. Great play by Bailey Jones. Just a little quick hitter. That'll set up Carmichaels' 1st and goal from the Brownsville 4-yard line.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was saying in the first drive before the Kevin Kelly interception. The Falcons cannot let Bailey Jones get in open space, because he can make some plays with open space.
Turn, give to Jones. Jones tries to fight his way and stopped by the interior of the Brownsville line. Good job that time. Looks like it might have been number 8 coming up from the bottom of the pile. Elijah Allen coming in from his cornerback safety position, sets up 2nd and goal from the 3.
This can be an interesting scene here. Let's see if the Falcons can get a big goal line stand here.
Kelly under center, turns, first man through, and I think Brownsville's going to stop them again at the 2-yard line. I think that was Voihofer, as we're at 45 seconds left to go in the first half, and Brownsville's defense up to the task. Big number 75 leading the charge for the Falcons. That's Leonard Harris.
Great effort so far by the Falcons defensive line. It's 3rd down. Let's see if they can get 2 more stops here.
And there's going to be at least 1 more play as we're at 25 seconds. Kelly under center, turns, gives to Jones. Jones fights his way in. That'll be a touchdown for the Carmichaels Mighty Mikes from 3 yards out. Number 26, Bailey Jones, puts Carmichaels on the board 6-0.
That's right. Great inside give to Bailey Jones to get the Mighty Mikes on the board here late in the first quarter.
Yeah, 6-0, 21 seconds left to go, and I believe Carmichaels, as we saw earlier in the season, will probably be going for 2. Not sure how the special teams is for the Mighty Mikes, so they will line up to go for 2. Once again, that unbalanced, heavy package for the Mighty Mikes. Kelly under center, calling out long snap, turns, gives it, and that's going to be stacked. That time Brownsville does not let Bailey Jones go. So with 21.3 seconds left to go in the first quarter from Redstone Field, the Carmichael Mighty Mike 6, Brownsville Falcons 0. You're listening and watching Vulcan Football on CUTV and CUTV Sports 1. And in fact, you are not watching Vulcan football. You're watching high school football game of the week here on CUTV. So used to hearing our director tonight, Colin Kirkwood, sending a commercial from my perch in the TV truck. I just kind of played sing-along with Colin. But it's actually the high school football game of the week. 6-0 Carmichaels. I got 3 of the 4 facts right, but the last one was blatantly incorrect. Although the Vulcan football team will be in action tomorrow at 1 o'clock versus the Mercyhurst Lakers. Now kicking off will be Carmichaels, a short kick. High bounce, fielded at the 35-yard line. And it's going to be a knee, and that's going to be as far as it goes. Receiving that kick was Elijah Allen. So set the Falcons up, Doug, for their second possession of the game, once again in good field position at their own 40-yard line.
Yeah, they have a good opportunity here, the Falcons do, to try and get back on the board. We saw with that kickoff, Elijah Allen was trying to take a little bit of a return on that squib kick, but his knee hit the ground, so they blew the play dead. But let's see what this Falcons offense has in store for us here on this drive.
And Acid leading his troops out for their second drive of the game, trailing 6-0, 18 seconds left to go. Acid now drops back into a shotgun formation. 2 men split out wide to his right. Turns and looks. We have yet to see Acid throw a pass yet in this game. Second possession for the Falcons. Acid looking, tapes, hands it, gives it to Grant. Grant fights his way for a few yards, but nothing doing. Stop made by number 34, Eli Johnson. And Doug, that should be the end of the first quarter here from Redstone Field. So after 12 minutes of play, the Carmichaels Mighty Mikes lead the Brownsville Falcons 6-0. We'll be back after this commercial break for the second quarter of action. You're watching the high school football game of the week right here on CUTV and CUTV Sports 1.
Colin, what's wrong, man?
I just don't know how my family back home in Millersburg, Pennsylvania can watch our stuff down here.
Well, they could follow us on Twitter, or they could like us on Facebook.
Yeah, but what about our sports? How can they watch those?
They could watch it live on our YouTube channel.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
And welcome back to Redstone Field in Republic, Pennsylvania for the second quarter of action. Gary Smith and Doug Gladkey. And if you're wondering why me and Doug might be tripping over our words a little bit, we had some Falcon fries earlier, and Doug gave me the first bite, neglecting to tell me that they were fresh out of the oven. So I have a 4th-degree grease burn on my tongue. And then Doug, like the true soldier he is, just took a bite right after. So we may have to take some anti-burn medicine. But as it is 2nd down and 7, Acid now play action. Looks, wings it down, and it's complete. Great pass and catch. Acid to Austin McWilliams. That'll be a gain of about 19 yards and a first down for the Falcons.
That is just what the Falcons offense needed at this moment, Gary. Hunter Assad with a great pass on a little bit of a post route to number 3, Austin McWilliams. And that sets up a great opportunity for the Falcons here at the 40-yard line.
Like I said, we saw Acid in pregame slinging it around, so we'll see if the Falcons open up the playbook. Draw play now for the Falcons. Grant over the right side fights his way for about 5 yards. I'll bring up a 2nd down and 5. So early in the game, we're calling the name of Mr. Daniel Grant a lot on offense and defense.
Yeah, it certainly has been the Daniel Grant show early thus far, Gary. Had a few great plays, that interception on defense, and has been the bell cow back for the Falcons on offense thus far.
Acid, 2nd down, call it 6 now. Broken eye behind him. Takes a snap, pitches out to Grant, looks to the right, has a couple blockers, fights his way with a stiff arm, puts his shoulder down, and it'll be close to a first down. And he had a caravan of black jerseys leading the way, and I believe that will be a gain of about 5 yards, bring up 3rd and 1.
That's right. It is going to be 3rd and 1. It's going to be close here. But that's the type of play I like from the Falcons. Let Grant get out in open space. Let Acid just pitch it to him and have him take it up the right or the left side in open space, because he's been doing okay up the middle, but the Mighty Mike's defensive line has been phenomenal thus far.
Acid turn, keeps himself, missed handoff, but he's going to find the broken play in a first down. Looked like he wanted to give it to the first man through. I believe that was Rocco Frisco. Missed the handoff, but Acid, great job of keeping his eyes up, finding the play, and finding the hole and getting the first down for the Falcons.
Yeah, it was a great bit of improvisation there. I was faked out a bit. I thought the ball went to Frisco, and my eyes deceived me at that moment, but great effort by Hunter Acid to take it for that first down whenever the Mighty Mikes needed it the most.
Acid now for the Falcons. That's okay. Like I said, we had some Falcon fries earlier. We're all burned up here. 9:45 left to go in the first half. Acid now. 2 men split out wide to his right and to his left. Gives it to Grant. Grant is hit in the backfield. Great job of penetration that time by Bailey Jones. Two-way player, like most of these players are, from his linebacker position. Sets up a 2nd and long.
Yeah, it was a great play on defense for the Mighty Mikes. Bailey Jones coming in with that big stop. Jones, a big-bodied player, playing running back and linebacker this evening.
Acid now once again working from the shotgun, trying to spread out the defense of Carmichaels. No safety help over top. See if Acid and the Falcons take a shot. High snap, followed on by Acid. Acid's just going to try and run, make something, turns, makes something out of nothing. Ball's on the ground, and I believe it's going to be taken by the Falcons. Looks like picking it up. And actually, Doug, did they say it's a turnover? No. I think the referee pointed the wrong way.
Yeah, I think he might have just pointed the wrong way.
Yeah, definitely the referee pointed the wrong direction, but that high snap cost Brownsville about 4 yards of field position, sets up a 3rd down and 14. And I'm not sure, Doug, with these two teams, unless it's going to be 4th and long, we might not see any punts. So we'll see if Brownsville tries to set up something here on 3rd down to bring up a 4th and manageable. Acid now, broken eye to his right. Under center for the 2nd. Stays under center, awaits the snap. Turns, gives it to Grant. Grant dances off the left side, and he's hit immediately. Once again, the first man through for the Mighty Mikes, Bailey Jones. And that'll set up a 4th and long, Doug.
Yeah, let's see what the Falcons do here. But nonetheless, the Mighty Mikes offense and defense have been running through Bailey Jones so far this evening. He's been dynamic in both of his roles. What a great two-way player here for the Mighty Mikes.
And Brownsville will go for it. Acid goes to talk to head coach Scott Fisher. 4th down and 12. Ball is at the 29-yard line, kind of a no man's land for high school football teams. Too close to punt, too far to kick a field goal. Acid now, play fake, turns, looks, throws to pumps fakes, now rolls, dumps it off. A whole host of Mighty Mikes there. It's going to be brought down. It was a big fight for the first down yardage. Was going to be taken by Eric Allen, but he will be about 10 yards short. But great job of defense for Carmichaels on a little bit of a broken play, and that'll be a turnover on downs. And Carmichaels will take over at their own 27-yard line.
That's right. The Mighty Mikes are in business here early, retaining possession again with that 6-0 lead here with about 7.5 left to play in the first half.
Well, Kelly now for the Mighty Mikes. This is the 3rd possession for Carmichaels. They've turned it over and scored a touchdown on their previous 2 possessions. Kelly now turns, now gives. Broken tackle over the left side, 35-40, 42-yard line. And that is Bailey Jones. Great job of breaking, as there was a flag on the play, but great job, sorry Doug, of breaking that first tackle. But let's see what it is. It's in the defensive secondary, so it's in the position of maybe a face mask or possibly a clip. We'll see. This is the first flag of the game, so we'll see, Doug, what the official has to say. It will be a face mask against the Falcons, so add 15 more yards to the tally, and that'll put the ball in. That should put the ball right around midfield, if not in Brownsville territory.
Yeah, but what you were saying earlier, what a great run by Bailey Jones to just get that big gain to open up this offensive drive, and then that 15 yards tacked on with the face mask. The Mighty Mikes are in great shape here.
Inside handoff as we stopped right away. That was Eli Johnson. And as a matter of fact, it was only a 5-yard incidental face mask call, but there's a flag at the end of that play some players woofing, so we'll see which way the yellow laundry goes. Referee coming out to make the call. No indications yet. It's going to be a dead ball, personal foul against the Falcons. So that will be the 15 yards that me and Doug were trying to give Carmichaels a few seconds ago, and that will be an automatic first down. That'll set up Carmichaels inside the 40 of the Falcons. We'll call it the 37-yard line. So 20 yards of free yardage there for the Falcons on back-to-back plays. Face mask and then an unsportsmanlike as the clock now starts rolling again. 7:05 left to go in the first half.
Yeah, the Falcons are giving away a lot of free yardage at the moment. Not something you did not want to see to start off this defensive drive. But let's see if they can rebound here.
Kevin Kelly under center. 2 men split out to his right. 1 man in the backfield. Kelly, toss play, looking to his right. There's some blockers. Turns up over the 35 down to the 30-yard line. Good gain. That was Michael Stewart getting his first call of the game, and that will be a hefty gain of about 6 yards.
Yeah, it was a very solid gain there for Michael Stewart, taking it to the right side for a very good gain.
In a game like this, Doug, you definitely, with neither team being really, both teams being run heavy, if the team that's going to win the first down battle is probably the team that's going to win the game, and Carmichaels definitely has been averaging about 4 or 5 yards as there's a give right up the middle and another first down for the Mighty Mikes. Once again, that is Michael Stewart, his second straight carry, and that'll be a first down for the Mighty Mikes. Put the ball at the 24-yard line of the Falcons.
But yeah, to piggyback off of what you said before that play, Gary, you're absolutely right. This is going to be a running back duel. It's going to be running backs versus the defense. It's going to be a ground and pound game. So if you can keep breaking these 5-6 yard runs every time you possess the ball, you're going to be in really good shape if you're the Mighty Mikes.
Kelly now, 2 spread wide, and Wright's going to keep himself quarterback draw, and is going to go nowhere. Good job of penetration by 75. That's Leonard Harris of the Falcon defense, going to minimize that game to about 1 yard.
Yeah, it was a very solid effort by the Falcons defensive line. That's exactly what they needed as they've been struggling early thus far in the game.
5:14 left to go in the first half. Carmichael's on their third possession of the game, 2nd down and 9. Kelly, toss play over the left side, and there's a big hit once again. That is number 4, Daniel Grant, making his acquaintance with Bailey Jones, and that'll set up a 3rd down and about 6. And we have a Falcon player on the ground, and that is going to be number 75, Leonard Harris, who's writhing in pain at about the 25-yard line.
We hope that Leonard Harris is okay, but what a shoestring tackle there by Grant.
When we take a look at the Century or Interstate Conference standings, we've seen it written down in several different locations. So if you know exactly what this conference is, tweet us at CUTV_PA. But big game in the Century or Interstate Conference is in Washington, PA, or McGuffey, PA. They're not that far away from each other, but undefeated in division. Washington and McGuffey play each other tonight. So that'll be for playoff seeding, both teams in the playoffs. But you see in the middle of the pack, Carmichaels and Brownsville out of playoff position. But big game for Brownsville tonight. If they get a win, they would leapfrog over Carmichaels on virtue of a head-to-head, as we see the injured Falcon kind of walking it off. But there's something to be said. If you see the results at the end of the season, you want to see your team, if you're playing for that team, 1 spot higher rather than 1 spot lower.
Oh, most definitely. You want to try and finish as high in the standings as you can, especially if you're a team like Brownsville who's going through a bit of a rebuilding process. So it will be a great thing if they could pick up this win tonight and leapfrog the Mighty Mikes in the standings.
Brownsville, one of the longest WPIAL playoff streaks, almost 20 years now, is 3rd and long. Give to Jones over the left side, and he'll be close to a Mighty Mike first down as he sprinted through that hole. And Doug, I think they're going to call him short. It's going to be 4th and 1, and before Brownsville has a chance to regroup, Carmichaels is going to go. Kelly now quarterback keeper, and he will have enough and more for the first down. That'll bring up 1st and goal for the Mighty Mike. So great job of paying attention to the game situation for Kevin Kelly and the Mighty Mikes.
Yeah, that was a great bit of situational awareness there for Kelly and company. Noticed that the Falcons defense had not fully regrouped yet, so they just went into no huddle, got that QB sneak, and got the first down.
Kelly, toss play over the right side to the 10, stretching it to the 5, and that will be a touchdown Carmichaels as Jones will leap in for the second score of the game for Carmichaels, make it 12-0 Carmichaels Mighty Mikes. 3:54 left to go in the first half.
Great leaping play there by Bailey Jones, topping off a great run with some style points. Mighty Mikes are in the driver's seat here with a 12-point lead pending the 2-point conversion here with about 3 minutes and some change left to play in the first half of this one.
And Bailey Jones just showing why he's such an explosive player. Turned it into a second gear once he turned the corner, and like you said, a little bit of highlight acrobatics for Jones is now Kevin Kelly, and the offense will stay on the field, go for 2. Man in motion to the left side. Kelly now turns, fires in the flat to Jones. Jones makes a move, and he will go in. Great move, and that'll be a 2-point conversion, makes the score 14-0 Carmichaels. 3:54 left to go in the first half. You're watching High School Football Game of the Week on CUTV and CUTV Sports 1.
Have you seen the new Cal U Vulcan logo around? Have you wondered where to get gear featuring it? Then go to calvulcans.com and click shop. Log on and browse a full selection of men's shirts, women's shirts, pullovers, hoodies, and more. All items feature customization with the new Cal U Vulcan logo and wordmark. The site also features a full selection of hats, tailgating items, and accessories. Don't be the last person to sport new Cal U Vulcan gear. Go to calvulcans.com today.
14-0 is the score here from Redstone Field in Republic, Pennsylvania. Carmichaels has used their trio of running backs effectively on 2 of the 3 drives to score touchdowns. 14-0, 3:54 left to go. And Doug, this is a big possession if you're a Brownsville Falcon faithful.
Yeah, it is. If you're able to get on the board here, cut the lead to 7 with a little bit of time left in the first half, you're really setting yourself up with some momentum.
Short kick, and that's going to be taken by an up man. And great hands and a great wherewithal of just kind of falling down and not risking a fumble. That was taken by Cameron Broski. So that will set the Falcons up for their 3rd possession. 3 possessions in a row on the other side of the 40-yard line. So good field position for the Falcons. That hasn't been the problem, just maintaining the drives whenever we get into nitty-gritty time of the football field.
That's exactly right, Gary. They've really struggled to string together a good drive. Obviously, Daniel Grant has been great for them on offense, but hasn't really gotten in open space enough to really make a difference yet so far in this game.
And Grant will be in I formation behind his quarterback, Acid. 1st and 10, 3:53 left to go. Carmichaels has everybody up at the line. Grant now dances over to the right side, puts his head down, and he's going to get 6-7 yards. And that pile is still moving, Doug. And Grant is not a big player, but talk about the effort.
No, he is not. He's not the size of a running back you would think whenever he's going into the trenches like that and going with the ground and pound. But what a great effort for him so far this evening. Just battling in those trenches, trying to beat the Mighty Mike's defense as best as he can.
And Grant comes out to talk to the coaching staff, so that will send in number 5, Vandal Page, in that I formation. Acid looks to the sideline. Coach Fisher's going to send the play in. 3 minutes left to go in the first half. 2nd down and 3. 14-0, the Mighty Mike's lead. Acid now turns, gives it the second man through, and that will be stacked up. That was Vandal Page, and I tell you what, big number 32 for Carmichaels. Hunter Voigthofer once again from that linebacker position saying, hey, nowhere to go.
That's right. The Mighty Mikes have been getting a good bit of contribution so far this evening from their middle linebackers, Bailey Jones and Hunter Voigthofer. They've really been the stabilizing presence on that Mighty Mikes defense.
3rd down and 1 now for the Falcons, just on the other side of midfield. Acid turns, gives, second man through, strung out, and that's going to be a first down. But I tell you what, great hit on the defense by Trenton Carter. Almost caused Vendell Page not to get the first down, but second effort by Page will get the first down for the Falcons.
That was quite the seismic hit there by Trenton Carter, trying to prevent the second effort from Vandal Page, but to no avail, and it's going to be a first down here for the Falcons.
Doug Latke, noted seismologist, with that analysis. Handoff to the right to Page, going to go down after a hit. After about 4 yards, making the stop will be, as there's a stoppage of play, Michael Stewart. Officials are stopping it, and for good reason. Brownsville was called there. First time out with 1:42 left to go in the first half. 14-0 Carmichaels lead. But, Doug, I tell you what, this has been a pretty well-played game. Both teams relying on their ground game. And, you know, the line play has been good. It's just Carmichaels has been able to overcome an early turnover to make 2 lengthy drives, and their defense has stiffened whenever they have needed to. And we see the Brownsville schedule. They started off 2-1, big win at Bentworth, game that lasted 4.5 hours. And then they lost to a tough Shadyside team, and then they win against their arch rival, Best Center, and then 6 straight losses, some of them in the tough Centric Conference, just powerhouses. Washington there, Southmoreland there, Jeanette there, non-conference game. McGuffey there, they played pretty well. But then last week, Charleroi did not treat them well to their trip down to the Mon Valley.
No, it's been a bit of a struggle this season for Brownsville. As you said, they started out 2-1. Looked like things were on the up and up. And then just 6 straight losses, really just kind of halting the momentum they had created early on in the season.
Well, talking about momentum, 1:42 left to go. Brownsville 2nd and 7. If they can score here going into halftime, they get the kick to start the second half. But this is an important drive. Acid now, play action. Go route deep to the right side. The pass is incomplete. Great defense for Carmichaels. No pass interference. That was a great job of defense. Can't see who the player was. I think it was Michael, number 24, once again. Michael Stewart just gets an arm out, Doug, and great defense.
Yeah, it was great defense there by Stewart, but it was a great route by the Falcons wide receiver and a great pass from Acid. Really had that great go route. Looked like he was wide open, but was halted and stifled by a great play by Michael Stewart.
And each team has a few of those plays that they try and set up, and that was definitely set up by Brownsville's running. Carmichaels was up to the task now, 3rd down and 6. Turns, gives to Grant. Grant right side. There's a flag in the middle. I think this might be coming back. Grant will be a yard short, but we'll see what the laundry is. This could be the 3rd flag of the game and the 3rd flag against the Falcons. That's a costly one, Doug. Holding, so instead of a 4th and 1, it'll be about a 3rd and 16.
Yeah, that's the last thing that the Falcons needed here. Looked like they were stringing together a decent drive, but as we've been saying throughout this broadcast, they start out with great field positioning and then things just stall out. So this has been a struggle point for the Falcons that they need to try and figure out in the second half of this one.
And I don't know if you could hear through the headset when the fans below us yelled, there's no one there, because if you looked up where the flag was, there was no player. So either the referee kind of shanked the toss with a flag, or the play was that fast moving. But anyway, 3rd down, 14. Clock is restarted. 1:24 left to go in the first half. Acid under center. Play fake. Turns, looks to his right. Wings it down the center of the field, just out of the reach of a wide open Austin McWilliams. Double coverage, but Acid just put a little too much mustard on that ball.
Again, Brownsville trying to get that go route going with Acid looking for McWilliams. Bit of an overthrow there from Acid, but nonetheless, the Falcons were trying to get something going there, and the Mighty Mikes had the answer once again.
Tell you what, though, Acid has a throws a good ball. Both those passes were on a rope. Just the first one was good defense. Second one, just a little too much effort on it. But this will be the first punt of the game. Back to punt for the Falcons will be Nicholas Setto. Low snap, going to be a low kick down the right side, but it's going to roll. It's going to get down inside of the 20-yard line. So with 1 minute and 5 seconds left to go in the first half, Carmichaels, if they want to put up any more points on the board, will have to go 82 yards. I also am a numbers guy, Doug, and that math adds up to 82 yards.
That's right. There's going to be a high presence of a hurry-up offense here if the Mighty Mikes want to get on the board before the end of this first half. So let's see what Kelly and company can do here with some difficult field positioning in a short amount of time.
Yeah, 1 minute left to go in a 14-point lead. They may try like one play just to probe that defense, but I think if you're Carmichael's on the road, they might be happy to go into the locker room up 14. And Browns only has 2 timeouts left. As Kelly over the left side, he will break a few tackles and get 8 yards. 57 seconds. Looks like Carmichael's will keep the clock running, and they might be content just to get out of here. And now there is a whistle. They might call a timeout. As looks like head coach for Carmichael's, Ryan Krull, is pointing at the scoreboard over there. Very upset. And I'm not sure why, because ref has not called a timeout yet. Now they do, so that will be the first timeout for Carmichael's. 49 seconds, and once again, the officials, Doug, not really explaining what exactly is going on, and that's not good to let me and you guess what's going on, because I can barely see, and you might make up stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit of a tough card to be dealt here with the officials not being mic'd or their mics not working, whatever it might be. But nonetheless, that was a big hit by Vandell Page on quarterback Kevin Kelly. Brought him down in a heap right off the bat as soon as Kelly got through the line. But I totally agree with you, Gary. There's been a bit of a lack of communication here, and it's been kind of difficult to really dictate what's going on for guys like you and myself in the position that we're in.
Well, I'm a numbers guy, and Doug's a hockey guy. He came first game of the year this year. It was actually the Carmichael's best center game, and he asked, when can he ride the Zamboni today? I said, Doug, this is a high school football game. We got a few months before we covered some Vulcan hockey. And that is on the schedule for CUTV Sports, probably in February. We'll get a couple doubleheaders in, and also CUTV doesn't rest. Got high school or Vulcan football tomorrow against the Mercers Lakers, and then a live, come on out to see us at Sonny's in Uniontown for a live high school roundup, 7 o'clock at Sonny's. We'll be there probably about 5:30, so come see the gang. Women's soccer on Wednesday, and then next Saturday live at George Mahalik Stadium at Slippery Rock for a big PSAC West matchup. Could determine playoffs for California and also could determine playoff positioning for Slippery Rock. So, and then right after that, the orange ball goes through the hoop. Basketball season upon us. So as the officials are now still trying to confer what the time is. Right now it says 49.6, but I think they're trying to say there should be 54 on the clock. Not sure. 53. So we're all on the same page now. 53 seconds, second down and 2. Ball spotted at the 25-yard line. Kevin Kelly in shotgun. Ready for play has just been sounded. Kelly takes a snap, rolls to his right, looks, turns, fires, and nobody home. Trying to get it out on a little bubble screen action to Michael Robinson. I tell you, that's probably good for Robinson that he did not catch it, as the linebacker Rocco Frisco was probably going to stop him in his tracks had that ball been completed.
That's right. There was a bit of a miscommunication there between Kevin Kelly and Michael Robinson. But you are right, Gary. If Michael Robinson caught that ball, he was going to get absolutely whacked by Frisco.
Kelly turns. Now he gives it. Good job of defense that time, but a better job of second effort for Carmichael's over the 35 to the 40, and a big run that time by Bailey Jones. He was stopped in the backfield. Now Carmichael's is going to look like they're going to spike the ball to clock it and save a timeout or so here. 37, 36, 35. Kelly now, great clock management for Carmichael's with 32. 0.8 seconds. But Doug, let's talk about that run by Bailey Jones.
It was a great run by Jones. He got into open space, tried to run through a couple guys. Obviously was trying to run through the Falcons defender, who eventually brought him down. But he's basically a one-man wrecking crew at this point, Gary. He's been all over the place on offense and defense, and he has been pretty much the entire Mighty Mike's team so far this evening.
2nd and 10. Kelly now turns, fires, pass complete. Gain of about 8 yards, complete in the flat to Al Cree. So it'll bring up a 3rd down and about 2, almost at midfield. That only ran off about 4 seconds, 28.4 left to go. Carmichaels looks like they're trying to set up maybe a Hail Mary play here at the end of the half, ahead 14-0.
Again, solid situational awareness there by the Mighty Mikes. Kevin Kelly getting that small pass off to Al Cree. Cree running out of bounds, only running off a few seconds on the clock.
Kelly goes to his left, pump fakes, turns, look, going to wing it down, has a man, pass is going to be in and out of the hands, had a step on the man, and that is going to be an incomplete pass, bring up a 4th down. And Doug, I could not see the number, but that was a well-thrown ball by Kevin Kelly.
Oh, yeah, it was probably the most perfect ball that Kevin Kelly could have thrown in that situation. Rolled out to the left a little bit, got himself some space in the pocket, and just chucked it and hoped for the best. Was a great ball. I believe he was looking for, number 14, Brian White.
I believe you're right. The far side of the field, it's kind of tough to see with those bright white uniforms and small font. So Kelly now 4th and 2, going to roll to his left, has the 1st down over the 50, 45, goes out of bounds, stop the clock with 14 seconds. That'll be 1st and 10 for Carmichaels. And as we saw in a play before, Kelly has the arm now to kind of take an attempt at the end zone.
Yeah, he most certainly does have the ability to take some shots. But either way, he's been really getting it done with his legs, as he just did there. Again, got into open space, got out of bounds rather quickly, giving the Mighty Mikes about 14.5 seconds left on the game clock in the first half. And let's see if they can pull something off here.
1st and 10, 46-yard line. And there's going to be a timeout for Carmichaels. That's a timeout they probably did not want to burn. That's their 2nd, but that's a timeout that did not stop the clock. That's more of a timeout, Doug, to get everybody on the same page. And I tell you what, give Carmichaels credit. This was a possession that they took over as we see the Carmichaels schedule. But this is a possession they took over on the 18-yard line. As we see, Carmichaels got that early electrifying come from behind win against Best Center, game we were at, then a dry spell, and then the last 2 games they came back at Union, a game we did last year when Carmichaels hosted Union, and then a nice game. Frazier's been a team that's been up and down this year, but that's a good win for Carmichaels. So Carmichaels has a chance to finish the season on a 3-game win streak, and I believe that after this year the WPIAL is going to reclassify. So if they could find themselves back in single A, that really might do them wonders going into next year, because they have a really good team. It's just sometimes when there's teams on the bubble between single A and double A, it kind of hurts them whenever they move up. But I think a team like Carmichaels in the Tri-County South would do some damage.
I totally agree with you there, Gary. If they could move down to single A, they could definitely do some damage.
Kelly, play action, turns, plenty of time. Now the pressure breaks down, turns, looks, steps up, makes the man miss. 40, 35, 30, breaks the tackle to the 25-yard line. Kevin Kelly is having himself an afternoon. 4 seconds left to go. Carmichaels will probably have to use their last timeout, as the official is now holding the ball for snap 4. And the sticks are not set yet, so there will be a spike. And I tell you what, the Brownsville coaching staff is livid right here. The sticks on the far side did not move, and the officials, who had been doing a pretty good job all night of spotting that ball and getting it clocked and getting the clock moving, did not start it, and now will give Carmichaels a chance to call their final timeout with 4 seconds left to go. So kind of a comedy of errors down there, but it's going to benefit Carmichaels and give them one shot at the end zone, as Coach Fisher is giving the near linesman an earful. And also we can hear the Brownsville coaching staff just to our left, just again, it's one of those things that officials have been doing a good job of keeping the ball moving, but I think the bigger thing is the yard marker, the sticks, the down and yard sticks did not move, Doug. It's like they were frozen, almost like one of those WWE 2K20 glitches we've been seeing on the internet.
Yeah, they did freeze up a little bit. Obviously weren't moving around as much as some of those WWE 2K20 glitches, but that was a great play by Kevin Kelly. It seemed like he had nowhere to go in the backfield, but just kept moving with his legs and got a pretty big gainer out of that, what seemed to be a lost play.
So we're going to set up 1st and 10, 25-yard line, 4 seconds left. Carmichaels has time for one play. They're out of timeouts. More than likely one play, barring a defensive pass. Now they're going to try a field goal here. This is going to be a 42-yard attempt as there's a flag on the play now, and I think this is going to be a substitution violation or a sideline warning. So this will be a field goal attempt, 42-yard line. Going back to kick will be number 5, Michael Robinson for Carmichaels. This will be a 5-yard penalty, so it'll make it, actually it won't be a 5-yard penalty, just a warning. 42-yard line. You got 2 Falcons back deep to return this should it not get in. So a lot of craziness going on this last play. High snap, kick is down, kick is up. It's going to be low, and it's going to go through the back of the end zone with 0.1 seconds. So we will see if Brownsville will get one snap with 0.1 seconds. And the officials with the flag on the play once again. Not sure what's going on. I didn't see, Doug, if there was any contact.
I couldn't really tell.
And it will be running into the kicker against Brownsville. So 4 flags all against Brownsville, all self-inflicted, and that will give Carmichaels one more snap here. So we'll see if you're a coach on the sideline, do you kick it or do you try and throw a Hail Mary? Coach Gladkey, if this was my PlayStation 2 in my office and you're on rookie mode, what are you doing?
I'm trying to get a quick pass off. You always got to take the risk, especially in this situation.
Well, Robinson now sets up. This is now a 37-yard attempt with 0.1. There's the snap, and there's a flag on the play, and I think the kick is up. Kick is going to be good, but I think the flag came before the snap. It's going to be encroachment against Brownsville. It's going to be another 5 yards. Not sure what's going on. The whistle came before the snap, and I think Brownsville, made contact, and I think that's why that's not an option to take the result of the play. So that's a 10-yard penalty after the 2 5-yard penalties. So that'll set up a 32-yard field goal, Doug. Numbers guy getting a workout over here. Now with 0 time on the clock. Robinson now. High snap, kick is down, and it is going to be shanked. It's going to be caught in the end zone, and it will not be returned as it broke the plane. So, Doug, a wild final 0.1 seconds, but after 24 minutes of play, the Carmichaels Mighty Mikes lead the Brownsville Falcons 14-0. Stay with us. We'll be back after halftime. You're watching the high school football game of the week on CUTV Sports 1 and CUTV.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Consider the future. Your future. At California University of Pennsylvania, you can build your life your way because we believe in you. We invest in you, empower you to create the future you envision. We give you the tools and teaching so you can rise up and achieve. Don't settle for someone else's vision of you. Build you at CalU. Visit us at calu.edu.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Band, are you ready?
Please welcome to the field the Brownsville Golden Falcon Marching Band. And a special welcome to the Golden Falcon Alumni Band. The band is under the direction of Mr. Galen McKinley with Assistant Director Miss Angela Capozzi. The band's musical selections include Eye of the Tiger by the band Survivor, Gonna Fly Now from the motion picture Rocky with the Alumni Band, and the theme from the hit TV series Peter Gunn. The band drum majors are Abigail Sikora and Samantha Tressler. Section captains include drumline Captain Dylan Duncan Stanislaw. Tonight, folks, please take your attention to the out on the field here, about the 45-yard line. Tonight, we'd like to recognize two of our varsity athletes for their accomplishments this season. Yesterday, the WPIAL cross-country championships were held at California University. Senior Deanna Corzo beat the field to become the Class AA champion and gold medal winner. With a time of 18 minutes and 55 seconds. Freshman JoJo Corzo finished behind her sister for second place and a silver medal. With a time of 19 minutes and 37 seconds. The sisters will represent the Falcons at the PIAA meet next year.
And welcome back to Redstone Field. And quickly, scores 14-0. And Doug Gladkey, who's going to talk to you in a second, is joined by myself, Gary Smith. And Doug, give us your 5 points of wisdom to take from the first half. Yes, your 5 points of wisdom to take from the first half.
Kevin Kelly has looked dynamic as a dual threat quarterback in the first half.
That's 1 point.
The Carmichaels defensive line has stepped up big at times, as well as their linebackers, Hunter Voigthofer and Bailey Jones.
So that's 3 points of wisdom.
Yes.
Oh, we need 2 more points of wisdom.
2 more points of wisdom. Daniel Grant has looked great for the Falcons as their main back.
Okay, that's 4. What's our final point of wisdom?
The Falcons need to try their best to get something going quickly in the second half.
Well, that's more of Doug's 1 point in the future. I asked for points of wisdom in the past, but that is the story of the first half. You know, neither team had more than 3 possessions. Carmichael had 4 possessions. They scored on 2 and had a chance to score on their final possession before there was a menagerie of penalties. Brownsville had 3 possessions. 2 ended in down violations inside of Carmichael's territory, and 1 was a punt. Right now, what we're waiting for is the kickoff. The bands took a little longer, both the Carmichaels and Brownsville bands putting on pretty good halftime performances here in the final game of the regular season, but the officials put 3 minutes back on and neglected to tell the team, so they've been standing out in a kickoff formation for about a minute and a half while Dougie was doing his 5 points of wisdom, and we're going to revisit the Dougie's points of wisdom at the end of the game. Maybe we'll have more points of wisdom. I don't know. That's our little treat to you, the viewer, a little Easter egg for people at home watching the game. And we thank you. And we thank our crew tonight, Colin Kirkwood, our director, Thomas Caton, and Carl Childs, our camera people. Kind of a short crew tonight, but one of those nights, we always have a couple during the season where families, organizations, and get-togethers and stuff. But we have a small but hearty and award-winning crew tonight, and wouldn't rather be anywhere else. There's an onside kick here. It did not go 10 yards. They hit a Carmichael's player, and there's a pile-up, and I believe Brownsville jumped on it regardless, but both teams are coming up, and it will be Brownsville ball. So, Doug, if you bet the over-under on onside kicks tonight, I think if you bet the over, you'd be going home a rich man.
Yeah, it's starting to certainly look like that, as there's been quite a few onside kicks so far in this one. I don't think that a single team has really kicked it deep yet in this game. So the strategy has obviously been try to get the onside kick, let it go 10 yards, and try and get the ball back in your hands.
Big possession for the Falcons. This is their 4th possession of the game, and they've had great field position each and every time, starting off the second half at their own 45, trailing 14-0. So this is a big possession. See if they can get back into this final game. Handoff down the right side. Grant puts a shoulder down, gets 9 yards. And I tell you what, Grant has been doing work down there for the Falcons.
Yeah, that was a great way to start off this second half on offense for the Falcons and for Grant exclusively, getting a decent gain out of that one.
2nd and 2 to go. On the other side of the 50-yard line, ball spotted at the 47. I formation behind Acid. Acid turns, gives to Grant. Grant juke steps to his right, breaks a tackle, and a good 10-yard gain. And there is a big collision in the backfield as big 77, Ross Swords, putting a guy on the ground. Looked like 56 for Carmichaels was the recipient of that pancake block. That was Jacob Buttermore. So 2 big boys down there colliding, and it's going to open up the hole for Grant. First down for the Falcons. And we've seen this before, Doug. Browns will be able to move the sticks inside the 20s, but not able to put points on the board.
That's right. Let's see what happens on this play here.
Acid spin move down the right side, fights, turns. He's going to be taken by a host of Carmichael's Mighty Mikes, and it'll be a gain of about 3 yards. Good job of defense at that time by number 59, Steve Spear. First Carmichael Mike to hit him, and that'll bring up a 2nd down and 7.
That was a great effort by the Mighty Mike's defensive line to shut down Grant before he was able to make the second move and get into the next wave of defenders, because he's really had a solid start to the second half. And if Grant can get going for the Falcons, this game's going to get interesting.
And on senior night, neither Acid or Grant, the 2 spark plugs for the Falcon offense, are seniors. Grant again, left side, and that time he'll be slowed up by a host of Mighty Mikes. And that stop was made by another big guy for Carmichael's, Elijah Smith. 6'3", 205 sophomore, so room to grow in that frame for that young man from Carmichael's.
Yeah, another big stop there by the defensive line. But to piggyback off of what you said, with the Falcons having Acid and Grant for a few more years, that's going to be huge for their program if they can get some more talent from the junior high and JV in here to build around these 2.
And that's from noted piggyback expert Doug Gladkey. 3rd down and 7 for the Falcons. Acid turn, pump fakes, looks to his left. Pump fakes, now looking downfield, scrambles, fires it to the end zone, and that pass is going to be just short. He had a man breaking open, but he was moving to his left and just could not hit his intended receiver, Vandell Page, and that'll bring up a 4th and 7.
And that flag on the play.
And there is a flag on the play, and it's going to be against Brownsville. Might have been ineligible downfield. That time the official was a little quick in his call. In first half they were slow in the call, this half quick. And actually it's going to be against Carmichael's.
Going to bump up the Falcons.
Well, actually I take it back now. So the official marked it back. It's actually against Brownsville.
Okay.
And it will be 4th down and 7. So sorry for the incorrect information, but we're all a little bit off sync here with the calls and everything like that. So it'll be 4th down and 7. Once again, Brownsville in a position where they got to go for it. Moving the ball, but just have not been able to put anything on the board. Acid now fires towards the end zone. There's contact, nothing called, as that was going to be an out pattern to Vandell Page, and the Brownsville faithful want a pass interference, but that will be a turnover on down for the Falcons.
You have to feel for Acid because he's been throwing. These have been good passes. It's just they might be a little bit overthrown, or maybe they're not in sync with the route, but the ball looks good in the air. It's not like he's throwing bad balls. It's just he's unable to properly get it to his receivers in time for them to make the catch.
I think if Page would have turned the other way, there would have been contact and the refs would have called it, but he turned to the open and nothing doing. 1st and 10 for Carmichael's. 6-yard gain. Good hard running that time by Bailey Jones. That's a name that we are familiar with from the first half with that acrobatic touchdown to give the Carmichael's Mikes a 14-0 lead. 9 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter, and Carmichael's quickly back up, and it looks like they're trying to get to the line, Doug. They're going to hold it, but they're trying to limit Brownsville from making any substitutions. Handoff for the first man through. That'll be Voigthofer, and that'll be a 1st down for the Mighty Mikes.
That's right. It does seem like they're just trying to stop any sense of substitution here for the Falcons. Can't blame them, because if you wear down this defense on this drive by going no huddle, things are going to open up for you at some point.
Well, neither roster is especially big, but I believe I counted Brownsville had 22 players dressed for this game, so substitutions are not something that they can afford to do. Carmichael's probably has about 30 players, so not a lot of 2nd and 3rd team on the depth chart. A lot of first team on the depth chart. 1st and 10, 8:15 left to go. Ball on the Carmichael's 47-yard line. Handoff to Jones over his right side, and he's going to be a first down as Bailey Jones again showing that speed and toughness out of the backfield for Carmichaels.
Another hole opens up there for Bailey Jones. He sheds one tackle, goes up the right side for a rather large gain, and just adding on to what has already been a great performance for him so far this evening.
And Jones has got to be encroaching on the 100-yard plateau, as Carmichaels has been doing a great job of rotating Jones and Voigthofer, and also they had Michael Stewart in for a series or two. So now shotgun formation, almost a super pistol look. Kevin Kelly now puts his head down, design quarterback keeper over the right side, gain for about 3 yards, stopped on the play for Brownsville by number 34, Rocco Frisco. One of the best names we've heard all season.
Yeah, that is quite a name, Rocco Frisco. But another solid run for Kevin Kelly, keeping his contributions into this Mighty Mike run attack. It's difficult for any defense whenever you have a quarterback that can run, but as well as when he's paired with talented running backs, it's quite a task.
Kelly now rolls out to his left, makes a move, nothing doing, and he is at open space to the 30, 25, 20, 10-yard line, and that'll be a first and goal for Kevin Kelly. The Brownsville coach on the near sideline wants a block in the back, but nothing doing, and that opened up a huge hole for Kevin Kelly, a 32-yard run to the left side.
That was a huge run there for Kevin Kelly, and that gets him right over the 100-yard plateau with that 32-yard run, and there's a flag on the play near where Kelly went down, so let's wait and see what this call is.
This could be another dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct against Carmichael, so that's going to mark them back a little bit, so that'll go from the 10-yard line to the 25-yard line, so that 32-yard gain will go to about a 17-yard gain if you subtract the yardage. So, but still, great job by Kelly. Nice play action. Found his block as the clock starts again. 6:45 left to go on a rolling clock in the third quarter, and they move the chains once again. Kelly now under center. Surveys the defense, man in motion. Broken eye formation to the right. Kelly turns, gives it to the second man through. That's Bailey Jones, and he stopped quickly on the play, that time by number 76, Wally Furlong. And that'll be a second down and 9 now for the Mighty Mikes.
Great effort there by Furlong and the Falcons defensive line to stop Bailey Jones near the line of scrimmage for only a short gain of 1. If the Falcons could start stringing that together and keep Jones contained, that will be a huge sense of improvement here in this second half.
Kelly now turns, play action, rolls to his right, looks, has an option to run. He will run, cuts it back up the middle, and he breaks it inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line. Will set up a third down and about 3. And I tell you what, it's a war of attrition between these two teams. Not a lot of substitutions. Be great to see what these two teams could do with some backups, because there's some fight on both teams. Just the numbers are not there for either one of those teams, especially in this tough Century and/or Interstate Conference.
Yeah, and that's the issue. Whenever you don't have a lot of numbers, your guys, they get tired out late in the games and they're unable to really close things out.
Toss play to Bailey Jones. Jones breaks over the 15, and he trips over his lineman, and he's going to be close to a first down. Had a surefire first down. But a combination of the turf monster and an offensive lineman will bring him up inches short. So it'll be fourth down from just outside the 15-yard line. Tough break for Carmichaels.
Yeah, that was a very difficult play there for Bailey Jones as he gets eaten up a bit by the turf monster and his teammate Hunter Voigthofer, as Voigthofer was trying to go upfield, trying to get him a block.
And if you want Doug to go as the turf monster for Halloween next week, tweet us at CUTV_PA on Twitter, as the referee's not going to call a timeout to measure. And I think it will be close. I think from our angle he's going to be short, but it will be close. But getting back to the turf monster outfit, if Twitter says to wear it on Thursday for Caton's Corner, Doug, what will the turf monster outfit look like? The world needs to know.
Probably like a lot of grass, kind of like a Loch Ness Monster type of look. I don't know. It would be interesting to see what I can pull off.
I went Doug in a full ghillie suit with a football and maybe a Cookie Monster mask. And that's what I want for the Turf Monsters. They're going to be just short for Carmichaels as the officials are not paying attention to our nonsense, and that'll be a 4th down and about an inch. And we're going to see, we've seen a couple times in this game, Doug, that Carmichael's in a 4th or 3rd to short to go situation just took Kevin Kelly right over the center and has usually gained them more than enough yards.
Yeah, most definitely. That's been their go-to in this type of situation. I'm expecting that we'll see a lot of the same on this play. But you're right, Gary. They do get a big chunk of yards with these Kevin Kelly QB sneaks.
And let's see if Kelly, as the clock is moving in at 4:20, Kelly under center. 20 people within an inch of the ball, and that will be a 1st down. Kevin Kelly and that offensive line getting the big push inside the 15-yard line.
That's right. Like we said, like we forecasted on that play. Another good 3-4 yard gain there for Kelly. Mad props to his offensive line for keeping everything at bay for Kelly to get that 1st down.
And that keeps the clock moving. So with 3:55 left to go in the 3rd quarter, Carmichael's their only possession so far of the 3rd quarter. Brownsville had a 5-play possession, and then a 6-play possession. Now Carmichael's has been driving almost with the put-away drive. There's going to be an encroachment flag against the Falcons. That should be 5 free yards, make it 1st and 5. And honestly, Doug, this could be the put-away drive, 14-0. Neither team really has shown a quick strike offense. So if Carmichael's to win this, they can pretty much, a lot of time on the clock, but you could almost feel good if you're in the blue and white and gold.
Yeah, most definitely. If you're able to score on this drive, this could potentially be the nail in the coffin, especially with the issues the Falcons have been having on offense.
Kelly now. 11 guys at the line of scrimmage for Carmichaels. Kelly now drives over the center. Mass of humanity moves towards in, and he's in. Kevin Kelly spits out of that rugby scrum into the end zone. Touchdown, Mighty Mikes.
What a great effort by the Mighty Mike offensive line. Just continuing to push Kevin Kelly forward. Does a little bit of a somersault roll into the end zone for the Mighty Mike's touchdown.
And that will bring up a 2-point conversion. And I tell you what, he just kind of shot out of there at the end like a cannon as the scrum was at the 5, and he ended up 8 yards deep in the end zone. So 20-0 now, 3:25. Kelly and company going for the 2-point conversion. Kelly, and he will call his own number over the right side, and this time it looks like the scrum is going to stop at the 2-yard line. So 3:25 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Your score, the Carmichael Mighty Mikes 20, the Brownsville Falcons nothing. You're watching high school football game of the week here on CUTV Sports 1 and CUTV.
Have you seen the new Cal U Vulcan logo around? Have you wondered where to get gear featuring it? Then go to calvulcans.com and click shop. Log on and browse a full selection of men's shirts, women's shirts, pullovers, hoodies, and more. All items feature customization with the new Cal U Vulcan logo and wordmark. The site also features a full selection of hats, tailgating items, and accessories. Don't be the last person to sport new Cal U Vulcan gear. Go to calvulcans.com today.
And welcome back to Redstone Field in Republic, Pennsylvania. Gary Smith and Doug Gladkey. Remember, if you want Doug to dress up like the Turf Monster this Thursday on a live Caton's Corner Halloween edition, tweet us at CUTV_PA or send us a letter addressed to Douglas Gladicus, CUTV, 250 University Avenue, California, PA, 15419. But Carmichaels is not thinking about the Turf Monster or Doug or Caton's Corner. They're thinking about this 20-0 league they've built against the Brownsville Falcons.
Most definitely. They've been phenomenal so far this evening, getting this 20-0 lead with about 3.5 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter. Kevin Kelly's been phenomenal. His running backs have been phenomenal as well.
And Doug, I think we missed a personal foul against Carmichael's on that 2-point conversion attempt, because they're now kicking off from the 25-yard line. And we apologize, but the refereeing crew has been kind of on and off with their signals towards the press box. So Brownsville should get good field position. That hasn't been really a bad thing. I mean, Brownsville's gotten good field position this entire game.
Yeah, that field positioning certainly has not been an issue for the Falcons. Their issue is they've been unable to string together a complete drive and have been unable to finish a drive off. They'll get into around the 20-yard line and everything will just sputter and stall out. So hopefully they can find a way to get on the board here at some point in this evening's contest.
And for the kick, this was a squib kick off the leg of a Falcon, but it's going to be taken. Great job, great hands for Brownsville to fall on that play was Cameron Broski as he saved his team momentarily. It's 20-0. Brownsville, if they want to win this game, has probably got to score on this drive, and if you're Brownsville, you probably want to score before the quarter flips from the third to the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they definitely need to get points on the board here in this next 3:23 here. And they have great field positioning right past the 50-yard line.
And we saw in the first possession of the second half, their only possession, Acid and company were flinging it a little bit, and they had some opening, just have not been able to connect. And we've seen Brownsville come out in this spread formation. 2 top, 2 bottom of the formation. Acid now, 1st and 10, 46-yard line. Drops back, turns to his right. Pump fake, now rolls to his left. Looking, being pursued, needs some help. Now throws it in the flat, and the pass is complete. Still in bounds and fighting. There's that man once again. There's just a big hit at the end, and the officials are going to flag Brownsville, and they're going to get, I believe, 63, who is not on our roster right now, for a personal foul. But I tell you what, great job of Daniel Grant to get open, present himself as a target, and Acid to get it to him. But we're going to see what happened is at the end of the play, Grant got his helmet ripped off, so we'll see if this is one way or the other or just against Brownsville. What did you see, Doug?
I just saw a great effort by Daniel Grant. It was difficult from my vantage point to really see what went on in that scrum. So we're just going to wait for the officiating to take place here. But
I definitely think they're going to get Brownsville with a personal foul. 63, who we do not have on our roster, and we apologize for that. Came in right at the end of the play. I don't know if it was late, but it was right at the end of the play. Officials are going to usually throw that. And now we're going to see the officials are making the call. Head coach Scott Fisher for the Falcons is right there. Dead ball. Personal foul against Brownsville. That'll be 15 yards. And the Brownsville faithful are very upset with that, because I believe instead of a 2nd down and 3, that'll end up being a 2nd and 18. And now there's another flag, and I think they're going to get Brownsville again. Leonard Harris was talking to the official, and I think they're going to get him. So this could be a proverbial shoot the foot situation. And now there's some discussion. Acid trying to keep his big lineman in control. And now they're going to pull him. Is now 54 will come in. That's Cameron Broski. He will bring out Leonard Harris. And I'm not sure if Harris got ejected or not, but he's going to the end of the bench, and this will end up being, I believe, Doug, a 30-yard penalty against the Falcons.
Yeah, that is something you hate to see for the Falcons. They have some really bad field positioning here. Not really sure what's going on with Leonard Harris. Might have said the magic words and might be done for the night here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The referee did not signal ejection, just signaled unsportsmanlike. And I kind of caught it out of my peripheral vision. I don't even know I think what he was saying, whatever he was saying, was not to the official. Official heard it, like you said. Sometimes the officials hear that. So it'll be the marker says 1st down. It should be 2nd and 32. We'll see if they change it. It's definitely 32, and this is definitely the worst field position of the Falcons all night. They're at their own 32-yard line. So 2nd and 32, 3:10 left to go on the rolling clock in the third quarter. Acid now in shotgun. Turns to his right, looks, swings it out in the flat. Pass is complete over the 40 to the 44-yard line. That's going to be the Vandell Page.
And there's another flag on the play.
There is another flag, and the way the fans are reacting right in front, this could be against Brownsville again, as it's right in front of the Carmichaels band. And I'm not sure. I didn't see what was happening. as it was behind the play, but that is in the area of either a clip or a hold. And the officials are admonishing Brownsville right now. They're moving back. This will be a hold. So, Doug, I'm not sure what you do on 2nd and 42. What would Coach Gladke do?
Try and get a decent pass off.
Doug, if you would have said get 43 yards, I would have hugged you right there.
No.
And this is going to be one of the longest down and distances to goes we've seen all year. This will be 2nd down, and it should be 2nd and 40. They're saying because it was a spot foul. So 2nd and 40. Acid now will be talking to his slot receiver. Now the officials are kind of stepping in, talking to the line of Brownsville. I believe explaining what the penalty is. That referee's talking to 66, Patrick Schumar, the center. Now the umpire moves back. Clock is now starting, 2:55 left to go in the quarter. And Acid now has actually stopped the clock again, so 2nd and 2:56 left to go, 2nd and 40. A lot of twos and high numbers on that scoreboard right now. Acid steps up under pressure, look, and he will be sacked in the backfield. Big sack by 67 of Carmichaels. That is Elijah Smith, and there's a player with his helmet ripped off. Nothing called, but that will be a 3rd down and long, Doug, and this possession has gone from bad to worse for the Falcons.
Yeah, things are really starting to fall apart here. This has been the last thing you possibly had wanted.
And there's a flag, and they're going to get Coach Scott Fisher on an unsportsmanlike, and he's out there trying to defend his player. There was a Brownsville player whose helmet got ripped off, and we have some yelling going on in there, throwing another flag. The ref's throwing everything. I have never seen this, Doug, in all my years doing high school football.
I've never seen anything like this before in my life. I'm thinking we're going to see some ejections here just based on some of the body language and where some of the coaches are on the field. And oh my goodness,
there's another right one. Now. There are 4 flags on the field, and one referee did not have another flag to throw, so he threw his booklet, and now he's talking. I think we're going to see, like you said, some ejections. What happened on that play, just to catch everybody up? 2nd down and 40. Brownsville trying to pass. There was a sack. It was a great defensive play by Elijah Smith of the Carmichaels Mighty Mikes. But then at the end of the play, 77 from Brownsville. That's Ross Swartz. His helmet came flying off. The coaching staff is in the box next to us up here in the press box, was yelling. And I'm not sure if that's where the first flag was or not, because the first flag came flying in. It's sitting at about the 33-yard line. And this is going to take a much better numbers guy than me to figure this out. It's definitely going to be 3rd down and possibly the ball's at the 20-yard line. This is probably going to be half the distance, so we're probably looking at 3rd and 56 to go. As now Brownsville's, Swords is still trying to ask the official why there was nothing called. Actually, excuse me, that is not Swords. Swords on the near side. That's Leonard Harris, who got flagged for an unsportsmanlike before. As this game is really kind of devolved, Doug. I've never seen this in all the years I've covered football. And this is my 24th season of covering football, maybe 25th.
Yeah, this is getting a bit out of hand here as you see one of the officials getting extremely animated with the Brownsville offensive line.
Well, I think one of the things was we've seen about 7 flags in this game. They've all been against Brownsville, and I think that might have been the tipping point for the Falcon coaching staff. And now the officials are still huddling. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 flags on the field and 1 booklet. So now the officials are saying sideline or get back to the Brownsville sideline. It's going to be sideline warning against Brownsville. That's 5 yards. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike against the Falcons. That's 15 yards. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike, Brownsville. That's 15 more yards. And unfortunately, they can't mark off that amount of penalty yards, or else that would be somewhere in the parking lot. So this will probably be half the distance to the goal. And it'll be 3rd down and 54 with 2:45 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Actually, they're going to go half the distance from that, so the ball will be spotted at the 5-yard line. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. This should be 3rd and 59 if my math is correct, Doug.
I believe it is going to be something like that, but something I saw when we were sorting everything out was Coach Scott Fichter for Brownsville and one of his assistants have been ejected from this game. They're taking the walk to the locker room, and they're going to sit this one out here.
This has been one of the craziest nights. We saved the craziness for the final night of the regular season here from Redstone Field.
Yeah.
So we believe, as Doug said, I believe 2 coaches have been ejected. I don't think any players were ejected. 3rd down and 59. If Brownsville converts on this play and gets 60 yards, Doug, I will buy you something from the Cal Vulcan store on calvulcans.com. Your choice this week.
Let's see.
But it has to be a 60-yard play right now.
Yeah, let's see what happens here.
The clock is now rolling, 2:40 left to go. Acid now from his goal line. Just a handoff right now up the middle. Turning to his left, out to the 20-yard line. That's a game effort that time, as there's going to be a push in the back of the end, nothing, and there is a flag. And they're going to get Brownsville again for an unsportsmanlike or a late penalty, and that's going to be against the player we don't have on our roster, number 63, but a great run that time by Daniel Grant, trying to get Doug a free outfit, but nothing doing. We hate to make light of this, but this has kind of devolved into a situation where it's kind of hard to talk about.
Yeah, honestly, it is. Like, it's starting to get almost comical at this point with how many flags there's been and how out of hand things are getting here. The officials have lost pretty much all control of this one, and it's starting to get a little shady here late in this 3rd quarter.
And you hate to see this on senior night. This is the last game for Brownsville at home. This is the last game for both set of seniors because Carmichaels will not be playing next week either. So you kind of hate to have your last game in high school kind of marred by this, but this has just been something we have not seen. But that's a dead ball play, so that should be 4th down and 59.
Yeah, they're just going to lose the down and go back to right where they started.
And that was a one-time offer, Doug. So if they get 60 yards on this play, you're out of luck.
I know. It's
and
all
actually,
good.
I take it back. That was not a post-play penalty. That was a during-the-play penalty. So it'll still bring up 3rd as now head coach Ryan Kroll for Carmichaels is quietly asking for an explanation. I think he's asking to see what the actual down is. So I believe I thought the play was over when the flag happened, but the way they're marking it, it seems like it's now they've changed it to 4th down. So we'll be 4th down, 4th and 56. Back to punt for the Falcons is number 9, Nicholas Seto. And you have deep men for Carmichaels at the 30-yard line. So Carmichaels, barring something crazy, now the officials are marching it back up the field. And our counterparts from Western Green Net on the radio have asked the same thing I just asked. You can't really decline a personal foul, but they just did. So instead of 4th and 56, it's now going to be about 4th and 45. And we've gone about 25 minutes of real time in about 30 seconds of game time with all the penalties. So this is a historic situation here. That's going to be a personal foul. And I don't know what that signal was. He looked like he was hands to the face maybe. It'll be 4th down. So standing at the 10-yard line for Brownsville will be Seto. Clock is rolling again, 2:27. Low snap. Good job of Seto to take it. Kicks it off the side of his foot, and it's going to be kicked, and that's going to be great field position for Carmichaels. They will get it at about the 33-yard line of Brownsville. So Doug, let's catch our breath.
Yeah, this has been absolutely crazy with the amount of flags, and it was basically on the verge of an all-out mutiny with all those flags with the Brownsville sideline. something that I've never seen before and something I most certainly will never forget.
And I tell you what, before the first play, there was a good bit of sportsmanship. Austin McWilliams for Brownsville kind of went up as there's a keeper for Kevin Kelly. Goes to the left. He breaks a tackle. Now is brought down. Kevin Kelly on the quarterback bootleg for a first down, but Austin McWilliams went over the line and kind of tried to calm things down, but that was a touchdown saving tackle for Aiden Teeter to save another 6 points for the Brownsville Falcons. But regardless, that's a 1st and 10 for Carmichaels. 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
That's right, another solid QB keeper run for Kevin Kelly, setting up the Mighty Mikes with more good field positioning, knocking on the door to score again here.
Kevin Kelly now, pump fakes, turns, fires down the right side, has a man, has a step, and it's in and out. Great effort that time by Al Cree, but that was just a beautifully thrown ball, Doug, but just a fraction of a football lace from being a touchdown.
Yeah, it was quite close indeed, but what an effort by Al Cree to try and stretch out to make that grab. But Kevin Kelly there just trying to show our viewers at home that are going to see this that he can get it done with his arm too, as he's been really, most of his offense has come with his legs on the run, scrambling out of the pocket.
So Kelly now 2nd down and 10. Turns, gives it to the first man through. I believe that'll be it will be Bailey Jones. Gain of about 3 yards. So that'll bring up a 3rd down, about 7 from the 25-yard line. So that's a new record for the second half, Doug. That's 2 straight plays without a flag. So hopefully I didn't jinx it.
Yeah, it's almost like that episode of The Office with Dwight and Jim where it's like 0 days since our last nonsense. We've gone 2 plays without a flag here.
3rd down and 7. 1:10 left to go in the third quarter. And Kelly in shotgun. Rolls out to his left. Going. Cuts up inside. Breaks a tackle. He has a chance to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown. Kevin Kelly doing it with his legs. Makes the score 26-0 Carmichaels.
Absolutely unreal night for Kevin Kelly. Just running around all over the place here on this Falcons defense. Absolutely fantastic night for him, and the Mighty Mikes continue to pour it on here with about a minute to play left in this third quarter.
And I tell you what, that the 3rd touchdown was the backbreaker. That definitely was the backbreaker. As Kelly now sets up, hands off, going for 2, and it'll be stopped. So regardless, with 56 seconds left to go in the third quarter, the score, Carmichaels Mighty Mikes 26, Brownsville Falcons nothing. You're watching the CUTV High School Football Game of the Week finale for 2019 on CUTV Sports 1 and CUTV.
Consider the future. Your future. At California University of Pennsylvania, you can build your life your way because we believe in you. We invest in you, empower you to create the future you envision. We give you the tools and teaching so you can rise up and achieve. Don't settle for someone else's vision of you. Build you at CalU. Visit us at calu.edu.
And welcome back to Redstone Stadium, Republic, Pennsylvania. Gary Smith and Doug Gladkey here on the call. 26-0, here's your score. And Doug, was that the craziest thing you ever saw in high school football?
That is one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my experience with high school football. And just in my entire career of doing stuff here at CalU, I've never seen anything like that, with as many flags, rule books, hats, anything you can imagine being thrown by the officials, with all those flags happening in succession on the same play stoppage.
If you just missed this on YouTube, go back about 10 minutes and watch what happened. We're at 56 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Carmichaels leads 26-0. They'll be kicking off to Brownsville. No kickoff in this game has gone deep for either side. Nice squib kick. That's probably the deepest one along the ground. Coming up to take it will be Brownsville at the 25. Cuts up at the 30. Good job of corralling that on the fly was Austin McWilliams. And so Brownsville, this actually will be their worst starting field position. They were backed up on a 3rd and 59 on their last possession. As about 7 straight plays were flagged with personal fouls either during the play or after the play. So let's see if they can kind of calm that down and put a drive together here on senior night. Acid now in shotgun. On that last possession, we saw him try and throw a little bit. Hunter Acid looking to take the snap. Turns to his right, looks, turns, fires, goes downfield, and a little bit of miscommunication. As there's a big strum at the end of the play, just normal football. And tell you what, Hunter Acid has not completed a lot of passes, but he has shown off a cannon. And again, this is something to build on for Brownsville into next season.
Yeah, most definitely. He's been showing off that arm of his. He hasn't thrown any bad passes, I think. They've either just been miscommunications or he's just had too much or too little on the pass and hasn't been able to get to his receiver. So if they're able to work with Acid, he could really be a great asset to this Falcons football program for many years.
Young man has good size at the quarterback position, takes a snap, turns, fires in the flat. Nice catch there. Big catch. Good sticky hands for Vandell Page. He'll be about a yard short, but highlight reel catch for the young man in the flat.
Yeah, it was a solid second down play there for Acid getting the pass off to Vandell Page. Vandell Page doing a little bit of a highlight reel snag, trying to get upfield for the first down, but he'll be about a yard and a half short, and it's going to be 3rd and 2 here for the Falcons.
Acid now working exclusively in shotgun. 10 seconds left to go, and there's going to be a procedure penalty against the Falcons. I don't think the right side of the line was set. And I think that was just one of those young quarterbacks trying to get the snap off before the end of the quarter. 7 seconds left, so instead of a 3rd and 1, it'll be a 3rd and, we'll call it 3rd and 8. They're calling it 3rd and 7. We're going to call it 3rd and 8. The official, Gary and Doug, first down, and that will end the quarter. So after 3 quarters of play here in Redstone Field, we have 1 quarter left to play in the 2019 high school football regular season. Your score, the Carmichael Mighty Mikes 26, the Brownsville Falcons 0. You're watching the CUTV High School Football Game of the Week on CUTV Sports 1 and CUTV. 12 minutes left to go in the high school football season here on CUTV. Gary Smith and Doug Gladkey from Redstone Field in Republic, Pennsylvania. Doug, was this the place that you did your first ever shoot for CUTV last fall?
I believe it was. I remember it like it was yesterday. I came down, found you guys. First day I moved in, ran into my protege Danny Beck, who's now with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
He's a punter.
And the rest is history.
Danny and the video production staff not on the Buccaneers. Acid now turns, fires over the middle. Pass is broken up, and there's a big collision there. Bailey Jones coming in from his safety position, wipes out his teammate. That was Trenton Carter. Good thing that neither player suffered an injury there, as that was a heavy collision, but that'll bring up a 4th down and a punting situation for the Brownsville Falcons.
Yeah, that was a huge collision there for the Mighty Mikes with two of their defenders. Luckily, they're both okay because there was a lot of force and a lot of impact, it looked like, in real time.
Nicholas Sato back to punt for the Falcons. Has not yet had a booming punt yet. Had a couple off the side of the foot. We'll see if he can rectify that. Kick is up, and that is his best punt. He's going to kick it over the up men for Carmichaels. That's going to take a Falcon roll, and that's going to stop at the 22-yard line. And Doug, with 11:43 left to go, give us your Dougie's top 5 picks of the 2019 high school football season.
Top 5 picks of, like, wisdom?
No, what we've seen this season.
Oh, man. Top 5 picks. I got to say that Charleroi-Southmoreland game was great.
But before we do that, something very important. The CUTV high school football hot dog score. And today, judging the Brownsville Falcon concession stand, we judged it at a 9.95. The Falcon fries always deliver. There has been no bias, even though I am a proud Brownsville area high school graduate. But 9.95 is his 1st and 10 for Kevin Kelly. Jumps over the left side. But the concession stand, Doug, I know you had the Falcon fries. I had a hot dog and a hamburger. And I believe Tom had Falcon fries. And Colin, our director, invented something, which he's calling the Colin concoction of love. It was Falcon fries, buffalo chicken dip. I believe there was some nachos underneath there and some jalapenos, or as Doug was calling them, jalapenos earlier. He was going with the phonetic pronunciation.
Yes.
I think Carl on camera, too. I think he had Falcon fries as well. He may not. I'm looking right down at him from above. So 2nd down and 8, 10:58 left to go. And there's going to be a flag, and I think they're going to delay a game on Carmichaels. Maybe. They're pointing towards Brownsville. Encroachment against Brownsville, so instead of 2nd and 8, it'll be 2nd and 3. But always great to come out. That's the one thing. The high school season goes so fast, so it's one of the things I do miss when the season is over. It's just the concession stands. Each place we've gone this year has had something a little bit different. Ringgold back-to-back wins, 10.0 this year. They just went above and beyond. I know last week Colin had the gravy fries and was tweeting about it all night. So like I said, each place has something different. 2nd down, give to Voigthofer over the left side, nothing doing. Doug, what was your favorite concession stand item of the 2019 season?
Bell Vernon knocked it out of the park because they have those KFC. They have like the KFC bowls, like the mashed potato chicken bowl with the corn. So being able to get that before a shoot is always clutch.
Well, nothing beats the time at Bell Vernon where our good friend and former colleague who's down also in Florida, Ryan Kaufman, came around the corner and somehow had a full plate of ribs, which is rare. As Kevin Kelly over the right side. I think he's going to be short. Oh, no, they're saying he got over, so it'll be a 1st down. Carmichaels keeps the clock running. But, Brian, if you're going to watch this, good work finding the ribs. That might be one of the greatest finds at a high school football game. I believe his parents were in town that week. So I don't know if they brought him the ribs in. I'm not sure. But I've never seen a man smile so much at a high school football game as Ryan Kaufman ribs. And that was also the night Dylan Godet had a very interesting halftime interview. So go back to the archives, watch that game from about 2 years ago from Bell Vernon High School. 9:40 left to go on the running clock. Carmichael's trying to salt away this 26-0 victory here at Brownsville. Last game of the year for both teams. Handoff. 2nd man through, and that is going to be a new running back for Carmichaels. That's Michael Robinson kind of moving in from his wide receiver position. Will gain about a yard.
That's right. It looks like they're going to get Robinson some last-minute work at running back as the clock is dwindling down on his senior season for the Mighty Mikes.
So it'll be a 2nd down and call it 9. 9 minutes left to go in the game. Kelly now under center. Turns, tosses out to Robinson. Robinson to the right, looking for a block. Spin moves and a big hit for the Falcons. And that was a big hit laid on Michael Robinson, number 5 on number 5, Vandell Page. Speaking of number 5s, make sure to come out, support Vulcan football as they're trying to make a push to the playoffs. Our good friend and colleague and quarterback Noah Mitchell wearing the number 5 for the Vulcans. The Falcons could use him tonight, but it's a very exciting end of the season here for your California Vulcans. Big game tomorrow. I know this game is not live, so but a big game against the Mercers Lakers and a huge game next week against the Rock of Slippery Rock. 3rd down and 8:10 left to go. Kelly now turns, rolls to his left, has nowhere to go, breaks a tackle and be brought down in the backfield. Good pursuit that time for the Brownsville Falcons. That was lineman Aiden Teeter not buying the fake, and that'll set up a 4th and 10, and this could be, Doug, the first punting unit appearance for the Carmichaels Mighty Mikes.
It is certainly looking like that, as Kevin Kelly looks like he's going to go back to punt this one.
So Kelly will stand at his 17-yard line, 7:30 left to go, and a rolling clock here. High school season for 2019 slowly dripping away into the night sky of Republic, PA. Kelly now waiting. Probably waiting until he hears the 2 from the referee. Kelly's punt is a pretty good one down the right side. It's not going to be returnable right away, and they will kind of return it. Picks it up, and it's probably ill-advised, but it gets it to the 35, 40-yard line. As there's a massive humanity at the 40-yard line, so the Falcons will take over once again in very good field position at the 40-yard line. And Acid going to see if he can lead his troops to get one scoring drive here on senior night. 7 minutes left to go, trailing 26-0, and might be a little too late to get a W here, but you want to get your seniors going home with at least a good memory, maybe get a touchdown to have that memory to last, because it goes quick.
Most definitely you want to try and get on the board at least here, send your seniors home with something to remember of their last game. But I think no matter what, they're going to have something to remember with everything that's happened in that
definitely
third
been
quarter.
something.
So,
Acid now, handoff to the right side. That's Grant. Puts his shoulder down. There's a flag at the end of the play. That's a gain of 7 yards. But the flag at the end of the play, there's a Falcon hobble, and it's going to be against Brownsville. Austin McWilliams is the Falcon that is going down, clutching his right leg, and he was the lead blocker there, so I don't know if he got rolled up on, but the flag was against Brownsville. Did not see if it was a block in the back or a hold, but it will be. We'll have to see what the referees, if they walk off 15 or 10. And McWilliams is still on the field getting attention. Now he's getting up. Limps off, gamely limps off, holding his right behind his knee or his quad. Again, Doug, I couldn't see if he got rolled up on or if he was just on the bottom of the pile. But the trainers are going to look at him a little bit on the sideline. Maybe trying to stretch him out. Might be a cramp, too. So hopefully McWilliams can get up and get back. It is his senior night as he is laying down from our viewpoint right in front, right behind, actually, his senior banner here in the stands of Redstone Field. And I believe that was a holding call, as it's going to be a 1st and 19 as the call was 1 yard down the field. So 1st and 19. As the officials now start the clock, 6:40. Draw play to Grant. Grant down the right side, jitterbugs, gets over the 40, spin move. He'll get up all the penalty yard, bring up a 2nd down and 8. And I tell you what, Grant has played himself one heck of a ball game tonight for the Falcons.
Yeah, he's been really good so far this evening. He's really been pretty much the entire Falcon offense so far. Really great player, dynamic, gets a little shifty with it, and is able to make space for himself. And he's a talented player that the Falcons are certainly glad to have for at least quite a few more years.
Inside handoff to number 5. That time, I believe that's Jones. Jones over the right side. 1st down, still on his feet, makes the move, and is going to be dragged down by his back, and that will be a horse collar against Carmichaels. Excuse me, that's Vandell Page. Vandell Page with a big run, and they're going to get a little bit of more yardage at the end of that play, as that was right in front of the official, and that'll be a horse collar.
Great run by Page, but getting that horse collar flag is huge for the Falcons, as they're going to be sat up with some very nice field positioning. Let's see if they can convert.
I'm going to tell you what, Doug, that horse collar foul is just so tough for the defense because you're just trying to get a player down, but it's for safety, and we've seen a lot of injuries kind of go out of the game with the legislation, that horse collar play coming out of the game. So it's good to see for safety. It's just a tough one if you're a defender. Sometimes you're just grabbing on to whatever you see. But 1st and 10 for the Falcons, 5:48 left to go. Acid turns, gives it to his second man through inside the 20 to the, we'll call it the 18-yard line. That's Page again. Gain of about 4 or 5 yards.
That's right. It seems like the Falcons have been going with Vandell Page for the most part on this drive, rotating him in and out with Grant.
And it's good to see Austin McWilliams back in. He's the wide receiver split to the near side. He was out for a few plays with a leg injury, but he's back in, 2nd and 1. Page now left side, turns, going to get the first down, cuts inside. That'll be a 1st and 10 to go, and this is the furthest penetration for the Falcon offense in this game.
Yeah, this is really encouraging to see for the Falcons as they're inside of the 10-yard line here, hopefully going to get a touchdown here. Let's see if they can come through.
1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. Acid now, as there's going to be a stop on the play. Who has called timeout? There's going to be a timeout on the field, and it's going to be against Carmichael. So 4:50 left to go in this final high school football game of the year here for CUTV and CUTV Sports 1. But don't fret, sports fans, CUTV has you covered for a lot more action. The Vulcan football team has about 4 or 5 more games left to go. We have Vulcan hockey, both men's and women's. We have a women's soccer game this Wednesday night live from the Phillipsburg Soccer Complex. And we have live home and away Vulcan basketball for both the men's and women's basketball team. And Doug, do you want to get wet? Because we also have swimming. We have swimming coming up in January. And then, do you like hearing metal balls being hit off of leather balls? Or excuse me, leather balls hitting off of metal bats, because we have baseball coming up in the spring. So about another 40 to 50 sporting events for CUTV Sports, along with coaches' shows, the live high school roundup this Tuesday from Sonny's in Uniontown. Come out and see the crew play Doug at bubble hockey. There's a lot going on, so be a part of the action. Follow us at CUTV_PA. Underneath handoff there inside for Brownsville. That was Vandell Page. 4:40 left to go. Gain of about 2.
That's right, Gary. It was Vandell Page again.
Doug, you didn't respond. Do you want to get wet? Swimming. Are you ready for swimming?
I'm going to have to try my hand at swimming at some point, so we might as well see what happens there in January.
The turf monster jumping into the pool, so we'll get video of that. Acid now, 2nd and 9. Handoff, first man through, going absolutely nowhere. In the backfield immediately was Eli Johnston, just bundling up. Vandell Page brings up 3rd and long.
Great defensive effort there by Johnson and the Mighty Mike's defense, stopping Vandell Page in the backfield. It's going to be no gain on the play, and with it being 3rd and 7 here, I'm starting to get a little bit worried for the Falcons. They would love to score on this drive, but I'm worried about whether or not it's going to happen.
Well, it's obviously 4-down territory. It's been 4-down territory for both teams all game pretty much. Neither team advancing to the WPIAL playoffs next week as the clock starts again, as the officials had to respot the ball. But both teams are wrapping up the season now. 3rd and 7. Acid now rolls to his right. Eyes down the field. Throws the end zone. Passes deflected. Great defensive play for Carmichaels. Coming in to break that up was Eli Johnston. Had himself back-to-back highlight reel plays.
That's right. Johnston getting in on the action on back-to-back plays, really getting involved with that pass breakup.
But I tell you what, if you're Brownsville, you got to like what you're seeing from Acid. On that play, he was fleshed out to the right, kept his eyes downfield, and really that was a good pass, just a better defensive play, and we'll see who makes the play here. 4th and 7, 3:40 left to go. This could be the last offensive play for the Brownsville Falcons in the 2019 season. 5 wide for the Falcons. Acid now looking, takes a snap, rolls to his right, throws to the end zone, and it's going to be incomplete. He had a man, it just went underneath the outstretched arms of Daniel Grant, and Carmichaels will take over 1st and 10, 3:35 left to go, and Doug, probably 1 or 2 first downs will end the game.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Just try and get the first downs that you need to let the clock run out and then just get this one done and over with.
I tell you what, you're looking down at the sideline now. A couple of the Falcons seniors coming off for their last time possibly, and it's always an emotional time whenever you're getting your last play. You know that your last game at home, that this is it. Next time you're probably going to be on this field will be for graduation in June. So very emotional for players of both teams playing in their last high school game, neither team making the playoffs, but even more so for Brownsville tonight being in their senior night. Carmichaels had that emotional situation last week, so always one of the bittersweet moments for high school football is just seeing those players playing in their last action. Now back to action, speaking of action. Handoff to the fullback right behind the center. I believe that's Jones or Voigthofer. That will be Jones. Gets about 4 yards, bring up a 2nd and 6.
Mighty Mike sticking with Bailey Jones on this drive as he takes it up the middle for a short gain.
Bailey Jones, a junior, so he has 1 more year left to go. And I tell you what, Carmichaels has some good players coming back next year. I mean, they're going to finish this season with 4 wins. That's in a tough conference. Again, believe that the WPIAL is going to reclassify, so you never know where their numbers are going to fall. So Carmichael is one of those schools that are on the bubble between double and single. If they move back to single, this could be a playoff contender for next year's. Jones again down the left side, crosses the 15 to the 16-yard line, bring up a 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Gary. They could most definitely be a force if they get reclassified into single A.
And even if they stay at double A, they have the pieces. Just when you're looking at a schedule with Washington, McGuffey, and even Charleroi and Southmoreland, those are going to be the top 4 teams for the foreseeable futures. Those programs are deep, and you have the Brownsvilles, Carmichaels, Fraziers of the world just kind of trying to bring up the 2nd division. So interested to see what happens here when the numbers shake out and everything's set up for next year. So Kevin Kelly now over his left side, and that's a play we've seen work a lot. And that'll be a 1st down. 2 minutes left to go. And that should be the last 1st down that Carmichaels needs. They might be able to take a few knees here and end it, but feisty game here tonight at Redstone Field. I think we thought we would see a smash mouth type of football game, and we did.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think we most definitely got what we bargained for with everything that has gone on in this game. It was a ground and pound type of game. It was basically the offensive line versus the defensive line, and whoever had the better of the two would end up coming up victorious.
Handoff to Jones over the left side, breaks a tackle. Now he moves, trying to outrun a man. He gets to the corner, and he's going to be taken down at the 45-yard line, and a touchdown saving tackle by Daniel Grant. But I tell you what, if Bailey Jones would have got to the end zone, that might have been your blue ribbon play of the year.
Yeah, it might have been. It's going to be interesting to see what I cook up for everybody for this live show at Sonny's. But
again, if you want to come out and see the gang, come out to Sonny's in Uniontown Tuesday night. I believe Doug's going to challenge anybody in the audience to 1 game of bubble hockey. Doug is currently 1-0 in his bubble hockey career, so come on out and see the gang. Really love what we do and like to interact with the fans at home, and really like to thank the people at Sonny's for inviting us into their establishment. As Kelly's just going to put a knee down, 50 seconds left to go, but inviting us into their establishment and seeing what we can do on the road. I know we're going to have our good friend Bobby D is going to be attending. It's Bobby D's birthday tonight, so happy birthday, Bobby D.
That's right.
I believe
Happy
Pam will be
birthday,
there
Bob.
as well. I believe sports information gurus Matt Kiefer and Alex King will be there. Trying to get our good friend Jared Wheeler there, maybe Dylan Goday from West Virginia. So come on out and see the gang. And that was the last knee of the 2019 high school football season. With that, the regular season comes to a close. Carmichaels 26, Brownsville 0. And for both teams, they will go into the off season. The seniors will go off to graduation in about 9 months before the 2020 season. And Doug, I can't believe it. This is our last high school game of the year, and it's been a fun ride.
Yeah, it has been a fun ride. It's been especially exciting for myself getting the opportunity to start calling football games consistently. So that was really a great thing for myself. But, you know, it's been a fun year. Starting off all the way in week 1 with that Beth Center Carmichaels matchup. And now we're here. It really snuck up on us, Gary. It went really fast.
It always does. I've been doing this 24, 25 years. I lose count. And maybe I'm not that good of a numbers guy, but it goes fast every year. But again, don't fret. CUTV Sports is not going on a vacation. We, in fact, have a lot more planned, about 60 more live shoots. So do us a favor. Follow us at Twitter at CUTV_PA. Follow us at CUTV's Facebook page, California University Television. Subscribe to our YouTube page, CUTV Sports 1, and get the latest. We're doing more and more live stuff. Tonight was not live because there's very little internet service here where we are. But definitely follow us. It's a hard-working crew. I'd like to thank our crew tonight. Down on camera, too, Mr. Carl Childs, the rig, who can't hear me. He's not looking up. Camera 1, Thomas Caton, the host of Caton's Corner. Our hard-working director and graduate assistant of the year, Mr. Colin Kirkwood. And, Doug, it's been great to see what you've done this year, and can't wait for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's going to be great to see how things shake out the rest of the year. But, you know, it's been fun doing high school football, and hopefully you guys will see more of me next year.
And basketball season.
And basketball
and tomorrow for the Vulcan football game.
Yeah, tomorrow we're getting
Unless
ready.
you eat too many donuts pregame and don't make it to the press box. So you always got to wonder. That's another thing. You just got to follow us to see how many donuts Doug eats. So for one last time, for all of our wonderful crew here tonight and throughout the season, I'd like to thank you for watching the 33rd or 34th season of the CUTV High School Football Game of the Week, the longest-running weekly high school football television coverage in Western Pennsylvania. For Doug Gladkey, I'm Gary Smith. For the rest of our crew, final score once again, Carmichaels 26, Brownsville nothing. We'll see you next time. You've been watching High School Football Game of the Week on CUTV Sports 1 and CUTV.